Hey guys, welcome back to another stream. This is Thomas PBS Program Breaker 20K VO5 here once again. And yes, it's time for another stream. So today, this is just going to be a chat stream, by the way, just so you guys know. Let's see if anyone else is going to join. Hold on. Oh, okay. It's nothing else. Just let me send the link so that anyone else can join. Here we go. So copy. Paste. Boom. There we go. Movie Game 1198, if you're watching this, hopefully you join the stream. And if you don't, that's alright. But hey. Alright. So now, if you guys didn't know already... Oh yeah, Movie Game 1198 just gave me a comment, so that's perfect. So... Alright, today this is just going to be a chat stream. This is just any Q&A. But today, I've been wanting to show you guys something really awesome. And the reason my voice is a little quiet is because... Well, it's because some people are busy and and all that stuff, so that's why. And I just want to make an update, guys, to tell y'all that. So I got some really awesome news to tell you guys. So one is that a week ago I got my own community tab, and it's really awesome. I can't believe I got it. I mean, even if I had some less subscribers, I still can't believe I earned it. Gotta say, I'm proud of myself. I mean, that was really unexpected, but at the same time, I'm pleased. And what else? And another thing I want to tell you guys is that on Tuesday, I have no school because of election day, so I think I might be able to stream. And yeah, that's all the updates I wanted to say. So let's get this stream started. And Movie Game 1198, if you're watching this stream, the link is sent for you, and I'll just place it right here if you guys want to join. So yeah, I'm gonna place the link up here because the last time I did a stream, for some reason the link didn't work. Well, it was sent, but for some reason, I don't know how to say this. For some reason there was a bug. I don't know, but let me check if it works. Okay, hold on. And also, guys, I'm also gonna need some tips from you guys. Oh, shoot. The link hasn't been sent. Yeah, Movie Game 198, if you're watching this, the link is up here if you can't see it. So, yeah. I don't know what's going on. There's probably a glitch, but other than that, I think the link should be able to work from here. If anyone is free to join. Hopefully, hopefully the link works like last time, because last time, like I said before, oh, wait, who's there? Oh, just only me. Okay, anyways, so last time I sent the link, didn't go so well. I mean, like I sent the link in the live chat, and then for some reason it didn't show up. There's probably a bug, but whatever it is, I have it up here. I have it right here on the screen, so now you guys may be able to join. So yeah. So there's something I've been wanting to show you guys here, real quick. I just need to do something real quick. And I thought I'd show it to you guys again this time. Mm, just need to refresh it and it should work. Uh, yeah. So, nope, no one else. I don't see anyone. Uh, guys, I need your guys' help on something. So, I want to make my own best of releases, but I want it to be. Uh, I want it to be. I wanted to make the best of characters or something. Like I remember from 2001 to 2003, they did best of Thomas, best of Percy came first, then best of Thomas, then best of James, and then finally best of Gordon. But strangely, they never did best of Edward or Henry. I guess the reason for Edward was because there were like at least a few episodes starring Edward, but yeah, that's it. I'm kind of shocked. Man, it didn't save. Okay, hold on. All right. And made releases. That's when I will rename it. There we go. That should work. Still no one else. Hmm. All right. So. Oh. Hadn't seen Faglova 2000 for a while. I'm gonna see his videos real quick. Probably gonna need to turn my volume down because I don't want to. Oh, hey, Movie Game 98.
Hey, how's it going?
Hey, how's it going?
I'm great.
Yeah. So, you heard the
Unusual
stream, right?
stuff. Yeah, yeah.
So,
Just
yeah,
a chat stream. I realized it's just a chat stream.
yeah. Did you see the link?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, on screen,
I,
right? Okay.
yeah, I also put it for the other two if they want to possibly join.
Okay, that's good. So today in this stream, I wanted to show off my complete Thomas season sets. Well, no, not just that. I wanted to show off my best of releases. I didn't create them yet, but I need some advice. Like, I want to do best of characters.
Yeah, like best of Edward or Henry or
Yeah.
Toby or Duck or
I want to do the very best of Thomas as well, alongside Percy, except I want them to be released for the 75th anniversary.
the very best of Thomas and Percy.
Well,
I know,
just the best of Thomas. Just best of Thomas or something.
yeah, because I know you don't have all the other best of character releases on DVD. I might as well just tell you this. I
I
know you don't have the other best of character releases in America, the official releases. You said you used
Actually,
to
I
have
do
special.
have Best of James. I do have the disc, but I think I still have it, but I can't remember where it is.
I know what it looks like because it's got the cartoon James and
Yeah. So, Movie Game 198. Do you want to know the website I used to create my own what fan made DVDs?
yeah,
It's called Canva. I found out ever since 2020, and it was actually really cool.
that's
If you
cool.
ever want to, it's like a website where you can like create your own posters and all that stuff, your own slides. It's kind of like Google Slides, except it's even better. I definitely recommend using it.
Yeah,
So,
But like I said, I never do the stuff like that because I'm not good at doing fan made releases at all.
Oh, I know. I get it. I know Fickle over 2000 is, and okay, so no one else seems to join, but oh well. So, so how I want to do this is, how about I show off my bandmate releases again? So let's go through Best of Thomas first, like how I want to start off with. Like I want to include every single episode that stars Thomas as the main character. Well, maybe not every single, but at least most of them. Like not just the classic series, but also the CGI era
And the
and
hit
the hit
and the
era.
hit model series.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and speaking of the hit era, did I ever told you that back when I was little, actually used to enjoy the hit era alongside the classic era?
Yeah.
Yeah, I forgot to tell you that. Yeah, but yeah, now you know that I also enjoy the hit era. But yeah, let's start off with Best of Thomas. I didn't create it yet. Just like let's go through the wiki. I have the wiki right here, so let me present it real quick,
Okay.
and you can give me some. And maybe we can find some episodes that star Thomas as the main character and we can put them on the best of release. Let's start off with Best of Thomas first.
Yeah, because that should have been the first best of character release in America on VHS and DVD.
Yeah, but we
Per
could
season.
have it maybe for the 75th anniversary. Huh? You heard?
Yeah. I was saying like they should have. I don't know why Anchor Bay screwed up the order and put Best of Percy on VHS or Best of Thomas on VHS and DVD.
Yeah. And have you ever noticed that on Best of James from episode to episode, the like when it transitions to episodes, it plays the background songs like It's Great to Be an Engine, not to be confused with the DVD release. They even play Don't Judge a Book by Its Cover, Really Useful Engine, and Let's Have a Race. I think that's what they play.
Yes, they play. I'll just say them in chronological order. They play really
It's great.
really useful engine. Let's have a race. Don't judge a book by no. Really useful engine. Don't judge a book by its cover. Let's have a race, and then it's great to be an engine.
Yeah. Yeah, that's
But
true.
but on Best of Thomas, they just play the Thomas's anthem from every transmission.
Yeah, and you know what I find weird?
Mhm.
They never even bother on Best of James. They never even bother to include James in the Trouble with Trees, Foolish Freight Cars, and all that stuff. I mean, James is the main character.
I mean, I guess they didn't have enough room to put because we already got the George Carlin Foolish Freight Cars on Thomas's Friends Help Out. But if they did put it on Best of James as well, maybe they could have let Sir Tom Hanks say, "After that performance, you deserve to keep your red coat."
Yeah, I don't even understand why they didn't do that, but ugh. I mean, in fact, they did actually show scenes. They did actually show scenes from like season 5, since Best of James was released in 2002. So, uh, yeah. Oh shoot. Okay, that's not what I wanted to show. I wanted to show my. Okay, that's not what I wanted to show. I wanted to show my. Okay, no, it's all right. I'll just let me type this real quick. Oh, shoot. I hope it doesn't
Okay.
lag like last time.
Okay.
I think this should work.
Okay.
You got it?
Yeah.
All right. There we go. I think that should work. So, start off with Best of Thomas and.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see what episodes we can
So let's go
find.
off with Best of Thomas. So we're only going to go through seasons 1 through 21, okay? Not 22 to 25, okay?
Yeah, not 23 through 24, including All Engines Go.
Oh, did I say 25? Oops, I meant to say 24. I think I'm probably used to the TV show Arthur or something. Maybe that's it, but whatever. So how would I want? Oh my God, not again.
You know, it's like that with my laptop that one of my brothers used to use, but it still like runs really slow.
Yeah, I know.
That's why it's like with this laptop that's next to me, it runs really slow, which sucks.
Yeah, but you know, I have a laptop, and it's not a laptop actually. It's an HP Chromebook, not the ones you see from
Oh,
school. You know what I'm talking about?
yeah, yeah. You have your
Yeah,
own Chrome.
yeah. But this is my personal. This is actually my own PC, which I use at home. So let's see. Please work. Please don't freeze. Please don't freeze. Oh man. Hmm. Let me start off a new tab maybe, and then maybe that'll work.
Okay.
All right, let's just give it some time, and if it doesn't work, then I'll use my phone. Okay, so come on. Oh, it's starting to work a little. Oh,
Yeah.
oh, I think it works. There we go. Finally. So let's go through Best of Thomas, but let's start off with season one. So, what episodes do you think we should include?
Well, I think we should of course start with Thomas Gets Tricked, aka Thomas and Gordon in the UK.
Yeah, and then what
But
else?
we could just replace Edward and Gordon, or aka Edward Helps Out in the US, with maybe you could do either
Hmm?
one of these Thomas centric episodes where he gets it's either the one where he gets his branch line or when he fails trying to pull one of the trains and he never gets the chance.
Yeah. Um, so I only wanted to feature, so I want the episodes to like feature Thomas as the main character. Oh my god. But don't worry, it still works, so I think it's working a little. Man. Thought it worked for a second. So let's just go through season one. So once again, you said Thomas gets tricked?
Yes, just like they did on the UK release of the Best of Thomas in the UK, and I think in Australia, well, it's
Oh
just the
yeah.
United Kingdom.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You think you can do while we're waiting, do you think maybe you can do your impression of when Sir Topham Hatt scolds Henry in the episode Come Out Henry for not coming out of the tunnel? Like, both do the Ringo Starr UK narration, Ringo Starr
And
US
his US,
narration, and George Carlin.
yeah, it's for Ringo Starr UK, the sad story of Henry version. He basically goes, "Eventually, even the Fat Controller gave up. We shall take away your rails," he said, "and leave you here for always and always and always." And then the US Ringo Starr, he goes, "Eventually, even Sir Topham Hatt gave up. We shall take away your rails," he said, "and leave you here until you're ready to come out of the tunnel." And then the George Carlin version, it goes, "Eventually, even Sir Topham Hatt gave up. We shall take away your rails," he said, "and leave you here until you're ready to come out of the tunnel."
To be honest, I thought it was pretty harsh when I thought it was a little harsh when in the UK version. I thought it was pretty harsh in the UK version of Ringo Starr and Come Out Henry when he was like, they should leave him here for always, always, and always. Don't you think that's a little harsh?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
eventually, the cliffhanger, they just don't do that anymore.
Yeah, I'm glad that they decided to change the line though. Okay, let's see. Ugh. It's no good.
I think for
We'll
the
just do
season,
this on my phone. So,
yeah, I know for like episodes, we gotta find like how in the UK releases we have to go from 20 episodes, just like the US release called The Greatest Stories, but they just take episodes from each season.
yeah.
But just make sure they just start. They're just the main character of that episode.
Oh yeah. I think we should do that. Like, for instance, I want to go through Best of Thomas first. So once again, you said Thomas gets tricked,
Yes, or AK Thomas and Gordon A.
and what about and any other episodes we should do?
Well, we'll make sure we can go through each of the 21 seasons to make sure. Because I think I'll say this: I hope you don't mind me saying this.
Uh-huh.
I think one of the episodes from season 21 where Thomas is the main character is, I think the last one before Blubba was, I don't want to say it was on Scheduled Stops, but I want to say it's Terrence Breaks the Ice. Or I think it was on Scheduled Stops. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so too. I don't know.
Because I know, well, he's a side character in the last episode of season 21, Confused Coaches, but Gordon and Spencer are the main ones because it's the last episode of their duo and their rivalry, and it's the last episode of season 21 of the Renaissance era, aka the last episode to be narrated by Mark Morgan. So I think we'll just do Unscheduled Stops. Even though I did not like that episode back then, Unscheduled Stops, that could be the last of the very best, just the homemade best of Thomas. But let's just
Yeah,
get back.
sure, let's do that. And think we should split it into 2 discs.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think 2 or 3 discs. I don't know.
well, I don't know how you can do 20 episodes on 3 separate discs because
Well, we don't know about the we don't know how many episodes though.
okay, because I
Wood
think
Star. We don't know
I mean,
much, but
well,
Thomas
yours coming
Gets
up. Like,
Tricked is one.
yeah, we have to of course do that because it's the very first episode of Thomas and Friends in general.
And yeah. And we can include a big day for Thomas, do you think?
Yeah, that would be a good one because we could go in order of how Thomas tries his best at pulling a train, but he fails at it. But then Thomas the Breakdown Trainer, aka the U.S. version, Thomas Saves the Day of that episode, we could put that one as well.
Yeah. And I did also notice that in a big day for Thomas. Let me think. Have you noticed about Thomas's lamp in that episode?
Yeah, I noticed it funny is they put not only is his back tail lamp got 3 lines, but starting off with seasons 6 and 7, sometimes they take it off. In season 8, it's completely gone. The lines on his back tail lamp. They also put it on his front lamp for some reason when I watched.
Yeah,
That
Thomas is the one who always has the lamp. For Percy,
Percy, I don't know why he has no lamp on his front, but for some reason the episode Percy runs away. At that.
just hold on a second.
Okay, I was just.
Sorry about that. Anyways, back to what we're talking about.
Yeah, you said about doing the impressions of from A Big Day for Thomas or A.K. Thomas's Train in the UK.
Let me think. Oh, hello, Thomas. What are you doing here?
I think that's in both Ringo Starr UK and US. They say
Yeah.
the signalman ran up. Or George Carlin says the signalman ran up.
Hello, Thomas. What are you doing?
What are you doing here? I'm pulling a train, said Thomas.
Well,
Can't
where
you
are your
see?
coaches?
Thomas looked back. Why, bless me, he said, if we haven't left them behind.
Yeah. Like, he almost cried in that one, almost. Well, in Terrence Detractor, he actually is shown to cry.
Well, the narrator just says poor Thomas was so sad he nearly cried.
Yeah. Yeah. Anyways, so a big day for Thomas, we can include Trouble for Thomas or Thomas in the Trucks. Yeah, we can include it. But speaking of Thomas in the Trucks or Trouble for Thomas, did anyone notice that goof in the episode? Like when Thomas gets to the end of Gordon's Hill or something like that?
Well, when he's puffing up Gordon's Hill, yes, you can hear a guy saying, look out for the train.
No, when he like stops at the end of Gordon's Hill or something. because he
Oh,
needs to
that
go
one, yes.
in.
On the unrestored version, when the
He
narrator
needs to
says
go in.
bumping into each after they say go on, the trucks say go on. It goes out of sync in the restored version, but in the unrestored version, it goes perfectly fine.
Yeah, and not to mention that the brake van is also shown in the original version.
And
That
like,
was kind of the stupidest error they made.
and something else funny is like what happened to that one van that was like between that last freight car and the brake van? Like when Thomas leaves Stanford Station with the trucks,
Uh huh.
I was like, I like that scene, but I was like, what happened to that van? And it's like maybe they moved it to the front of Thomas's train. I don't know.
Oh yeah, but yeah. Trouble for Thomas. We can include Thomas saves the day, not to be confused with the season 8 episode or Thomas and the breakdown train. So yeah, we could include that, right?
Yeah,
So yeah.
I know we didn't come up with our top episode ideas. Yeah, we're just coming up with ideas.
Oh yeah, we're doing best of releases for the 75th anniversary, which was 2 years ago.
Yeah, so I think after that would be Thomas and the Conductor, aka Thomas and the Guard in the UK.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And I'm pretty sure they would all be narrated by George Carlin, or maybe one of them could have Ringo Starr.
I mean, we could do leading up to Terrence the Tractor. We could have Ringo Starr narrate them, and the rest of season 1 could be George Carlin.
Oh yeah.
To split it up so we can have all narrators.
Yeah. And what about that scene when Thomas responds to Henry, like in the UK dub? He says, "Rubbish. You're too fat. You need exercise." I think that was kind of, huh?
Yeah, what were you saying? I was
When
listening to what you were
Thomas
saying.
responds to Henry about being ill, but Thomas just doesn't care. He's just like, "Rubbish," said Thomas. "You're too fat. You need exercise." I think that's kind of inappropriate to say for little kids.
Yeah, just like something else we'll get to later that that I thought would not be appropriate to say to have kids listen to, and like also like yeah, in the Ringo Starr U.S. version, Thomas the Conductor says, "Rubbish," said Thomas. "You're too slow. You need exercise."
I don't think it's that bad, to be honest.
The George Carlin one, I gotta say, I think it's kind of harsh, but despite I still like George Carlin, yes.
Yeah. But yeah, we can include Thomas and the Conductor. And what about Thomas Goes Fishing?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, we can do that. So yeah, Thomas Goes Fishing. And by the way, speaking of Thomas Goes Fishing, if you had to rename the title, if you had to rename the title for the U.S. Thomas Goes Fishing, what would you call it?
Instead of it being Thomas Goes Fishing,
Uh huh. What would you call it for the U.S.?
that would be a hard thing to say because it's still called the same title in all regions of the world.
Yeah,
Even in the Railway Series book, Tank Engine Thomas again.
yeah. But yeah, I guess Thomas Goes Fishing we can include. Terrence the Tractor or Thomas Terrence in the Snow. Now, this is the one scene where Thomas actually cries.
Like also like he says, well, I can just do the George Carlin one. I'm just so good at it. He goes, "Oh my wheels and coupling rods! I shall have to stop here till I'm frozen. What a silly engine I am!" And Thomas began to cry.
With a tear.
And it just plays this kind of tone of sad music.
Yeah, and Thomas and Birdie's Great Race we can include as well, I think.
Yeah, that one stars Thomas.
Yeah, anything else that stars Thomas?
Well, I know in the fact that I don't think Thomas is any of the main characters in the Chenners and Turntables arc after Thomas and Birdie's Great Race.
Yeah. And down the line, I think I'll save for Best of Gordon or this one.
And we should put this on Best of Thomas because I don't know why they put it on the American release of Best of Gordon down the line because that one's more focused on Thomas than Gordon.
I guess the only reason was because Gordon was the main protagonist here, but yeah, I think down the line would be good. I guess that's all season 1. And I'm pretty sure, and just like the complete season sets, I think we should put the restored version of the classic series intro for season one.
Yeah,
Yeah, where it like intacts the Thomas and Friends logo.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that's what we'll do. And then moving on, we got season two.
Which this
Um,
one, Double Trouble, or AK Thomas Percy Nicole in the UK.
hmm.
I think that one's Thomas is the main character as well. But I think it's
Yeah,
on both Thomas and Percy because they get into both different coal accidents.
yeah. I think Double Trouble will be a lot better.
Not to be confused with the season 13 episode of the CGI era.
Yeah,
Yeah, a lot of people
and
and this word in the Thomas Percy Nicole UK version by Ringo Starr, they didn't want children. They had to change it to because they didn't want children interfering with the word choking either.
oh yeah, I don't even understand why they would do that. Yeah, yeah. I'm glad they didn't use that in the U.S. version.
But the UK version, of some reason, of Thomas Percy Nicole, you can hear Thomas blowing his whistle, but you can't even hear Thomas blowing his whistle once in the US
Yeah,
version of Percy Nicole.
yeah. I would do my impression in the UK version, but the only problem is I wouldn't want people to. I wouldn't want to like give people heart attacks and all. So I think it's better if I do the US version.
Yeah, the George Carlin one is just superb in my opinion, because that's why I grew up with George Carlin's version of
Yeah,
Double Trouble, or AK Thomas Percy Nicole.
yeah. He's like, help, help, get me out.
The Ringo Starr version or the George Carlin?
Ringo Starr version, the US one.
The George Carlin when he goes, help, help, get me out.
Yeah, okay. So yeah, Double Trouble it is. And what about a new friend for Thomas?
I think so, yes, because even though it starts out with Edward and Trevor a little bit, but then it goes to now Thomas is being the one in the main star.
Oh yeah. And the Runaway, I think we should also include, right?
Yeah, but do you know what's weird in the George Carlin U.S. version of The Runaway? When they think they say George Carlin's going to say miserable, it's very weird how he says Thomas felt very mean instead of miserable. But in the Ringo Starr UK and US versions, he does say miserable right.
Oh wait, what did he say again?
I'll say it again. Thomas felt very mean. I was like,
Oh
what?
really?
I thought he said he was like feeling meanful, but no, he says he's supposed to be saying he felt very miserable.
Hmm. Let
Like,
me
but I
see
know
that.
Ringo Starr UK and US, he does say miserable superbly well. The Ringo Starr UK and US version of The Runaway.
Oh yeah, I didn't know that. I'm gonna have a look real quick, but I'm gonna have to mute the microphone though, because I don't want because this is copyrighted.
Yeah.
That's strange. I didn't know he would say that.
I mean, George Carlin, I thought he was better than Ringo Starr in my personal opinion, but you played the clip without putting in the stream because you didn't want to get copyrighted, right?
Yeah, yeah, that's why I muted the microphone.
Okay, but you played it from a clip on YouTube.
Yeah, I did this on my phone though, just so that I don't get copyrighted.
Okay,
That's why I
but
wanted to avoid it.
but yeah, I also I know, yes, in the Ringo Starr UK and US version they say the works had left Thomas's handbrake very stiff. It made his brakes seem as if they were hard on, when in fact they were not. But I don't. I guess George Carlin can't say the word hard on either, like Ringo Starr can. when they say the works had left Thomas's handbrake very stiff. It made his brakes seem as if they were on, when in fact they were not.
I guess I don't know what happened, but
Yeah,
yeah.
but also, like, you know how like this one scene when the narrator said, "But one day Thomas's fireman was ill, and a relief man took his place." But then the fireman's still there in the next scene when Thomas is about to couple up to Annie and Clarabelle.
Oh yeah, and not to mention that, when it shows the scene where the fireman is ill, I noticed that
Mhm.
I noticed that footage is probably reused from Old Iron or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, I noticed that. Huh?
Oh yeah. Sorry, I was just turning the light on my tripod.
Oh,
I can see my
that.
better.
Anyway, so if the runaway for some reason when it shows the fireman ill, it shows stock footage from Old Iron. You get it? Yeah.
Yeah, but I don't know why that's the same person that's supposed to be like this one. It's supposed to be Thomas's fireman was feeling ill, but this one in Old Iron they say James's driver was suddenly taken ill. He could hardly stand.
Oh yeah. And better late than never. How about better late than never include?
Yeah, even though I don't know why people say that's the worst of season two. I'm
Yeah,
finding it enjoyable because it's not. There's not so many bad times when being late is so bad because it
yeah.
happens to everyone. Sometimes people are not on time for their jobs, and it's not happens in railways. It happens in real life too.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. I mean,
Because I know you don't have a real life job yet.
yeah, I don't.
Yeah, like I said, I have a real life job, so I mean, it happened to me before, so it's not so bad at all. Because I know my boss at my work understands if I'm running on time or on late, or if I'm late.
Yeah, I mean, most of the time at school, I'm always on time, anyways.
Oh, well, yeah, that's different to like real working in real life. Yes,
Yeah. So,
but yes, Barely Never
better late
will
than
add.
never it is, and then let's see
But
if
yeah,
there's any other episodes.
yeah,
Yeah,
but I was
Thomas. Huh?
oh yeah about Better Late Than Never. I think like I don't know which scene where Thomas. Well, he's still red in the face, but he gets angry at Birdie when he lets off steam loudly and says rubbish. I don't know which one is like the more harsher one, Ringo Starr UK or US or the George Carlin version.
I think mostly the Ringo Starr narration.
Both UK and US have Better Late Than Never because it's the same in both regions.
Oh yeah.
Because I like how he says, rubbish, he hissed fiercely. It's those mainline engines. They dither about on the viaduct and then blame Sir Topham Hatt's workmen. It's just an excuse for laziness, if you ask me. But the George Carlin one, yes, I know he's still mad, but he doesn't do it as much harshly as Ringo Starr, even though I like George Carlin.
Oh yeah.
Like this one, he says, rubbish, he hissed fiercely. It's those mainline engines. They dither about on the viaduct, and they blame Sir Topham Hatt's workmen.
Oh
It's
yeah.
just
And
useful laziness, if you ask me.
oh yeah. And Thomas comes to breakfast.
Yep, we done those impressions from that one scene towards the end.
You miserable engine! Just look what you did to my breakfast. Now I shall have to cook some more.
But you know something funny? When I watched the Ringo Starr version of Thomas Comes to Breakfast under the VHS Tenders and Turntables and other stories, I thought Ringo Starr was gonna say he banged the door. I thought he was gonna say he banged the door, but it's actually but Ringo Starr still said she banged the door.
Oh yeah.
Luckily, George Carlin, I know he does it very well, saying she banged the door. Like in this scene, you miserable engine, she scolded. Just look what you've done to our breakfast. Now I shall have to cook some more. She banged the door. More plaster fell. This time it fell on Thomas. Thomas felt depressed.
Yeah. Yeah, I found it was yeah, I think it was pretty funny.
But yeah, I know we all know we did the scene with Sir Thomas saying scolding off Thomas, you are a very naughty engine in the UK version, but in the US versions with Ringo and George, they're like, you're in a lot of trouble, Thomas. Yeah, I can do them myself. Wait, which one you should do? You do Sir Thomas Hat's you're in a lot of trouble, Thomas, and I'll do the Thomas one.
Yeah, I can do the US one. Well, I mean, I don't listen to the Ringo Starr version much because mostly I grew up with watching George Carlin's narration, but you can do the Ringo Starr one.
Okay. Well, it says, there was worse to come. You're in a lot of trouble, Thomas. I know, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Thomas's voice was muffled behind his bush. You must go to the works and have your front mended. It will be a long job. Meanwhile, a diesel rail car will do your work. The diesel, sir? Yes, Thomas. Diesels always stay in their sheds till they are wanted. And then George Carlin says, you're in a lot of trouble, Thomas. I know, sir. I'm sorry, sir. Thomas's voice was muffled behind his bush. You must go to the works and have your front mended. It will be a long job. Yes, sir. Meanwhile, a diesel rail car will do your work. A diesel, sir? Thomas. Like this one, Thomas doesn't sound more panting and worried. In the Ringo one, he is. But this one, yes, Thomas. Diesels always stay in their sheds till they are wanted. Diesels never galloping off to breakfast in station masters' houses.
Oh yeah, and let's not forget at the beginning when Thomas is like when he's bragging to the other engines that he's like, driver says I won't need him anymore.
Yeah, when Ringo starred Percy and Toby, don't stop, snorted Percy. I never go without my driver, said Toby earnestly. I'd be frightened. But on this, don't be so daft, snorted Percy. I think there's another episode later on that Percy does say daft. But this one he says, don't be so daft, snorted. I'd never go without my driver, said Toby earnestly. I'd be frightened.
Oh yeah. And
But yeah, let's get to the rest of the episodes because I've done this. Well, we know how the line goes in Thomas Goes to Breakfast. It's a lot of Thomas fans' favorite episode of season 2.
oh yeah. And this may sound off topic, but you know Wrong Road from season 2?
Uh-huh. I do remember it, yes. On the VHS James Goes Buzz Buzz and Other Stories, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, and I remember you know Gordon's O face when Gordon overreacts that he should pull freight cars for a change?
Like the O face he made back in the last season.
Yeah, that kind of used to scare me, I remember.
Well,
Like
it's not as long as it's not too frightened, it's too close to the screen, but at least it's just shown at a certain angle, like when he splutters out in horror saying, I won't pull Boco's dirty cars. I won't run on branch lines. And like,
oh
yeah,
yeah.
like you know how Edward has the same expression but without his teeth when he says, why not? It would be a nice change. But this one, in the Edward's Exploit, which is the episode after that, he does make that same face with his teeth painted on.
Oh yeah. I found it pretty funny. And did I even forget to mention that in A New Friend for Thomas, Thomas is just smiling throughout the episode?
Well, yes, but I know there's some scenes where in when they show him the back portion of his model, that's when they cover up his face. Yes, yeah. There's not even one single time like they use his face all the way back in season 1, but just post it on his season 2 model. Even though I can get over that sometimes, and I like that still. The neutral Thomas happy face put on the season 2 body.
Oh yeah. And let me do my impression again. So never mind, Gordon. I'm sure Boco will let you pull his freight cars sometimes.
Gordon spluttered. I won't pull Boco's dirty cars. I won't run on branch lines.
Why not? It would be a nice change.
Sir Topham Hatt would never approve. Huff Gordon. Branch lines are vulgar.
I thought the scene where he like spluttered was just hilarious. Well, except the scene that one time surprised me was his O face.
Well,
I
I
thought
mean
his
the
O
one
face was kind of funny.
like when the narrator said Gordon was alarmed.
No, Gordon spluttered.
Okay, well that was, but I know but at least this one when Gordon does this surprise face like this, that will also appear in season. I think
8?
it was no, it was season 5 that did it in the classic series first.
Oh no. And then I think it continued on in season 6, like Gordon takes a tumble. But yeah, I think that's all of season 2 we got for Thomas is the main character.
Well, yeah, 'cause I think he. Well, we're not going to include Christmas episodes, just ordinary episodes where it's just.
Yeah,
'Cause-
yeah, Tom. Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think we'll just
Let's
end it
not
off with
include
Thomas
Christmas
breakfast
episode.
if that's fine. Because
Oh yeah,
yeah, Thomas to breakfast. I think we'll just do as the last season too. We're coming up with episode ideas for the best of Thomas with
yeah,
20 episodes. So yeah,
yeah,
Thomas breakfast. We'll just end it off with. So we'll go straight to season 3 if you don't mind.
yeah. Let's do that. Yeah, I think we should just make it. Oh man, there we go. Okay, so Thomas gets bumped.
Yeah, because I think the first 5 episodes before Thomas gets bumped, it's different characters in the main role.
Oh yeah.
Oh, there's something funny in Percy's Promise. No. Time for Trouble at the beginning. Thomas had there was a break band behind Thomas and Claire. I was like, what? Thomas has where'd that break
Time for
band?
Trouble?
Yeah, at the
Oh
beginning.
yeah, I remember seeing this on Best of James. Like I was so confused to be honest, but
Where did that break band come from? I thought it was supposed to be just Thomas, Annie, and Clarabelle, but for some reason, this episode was after Percy's Promise, Time for Trouble, and they forgot to
Oh,
take
yeah.
the break band away. But I guess Britt Allcroft and David Mitton didn't want to switch stuff around, and they just needed to save some money.
oh yeah.
So I guess they just left it there. But later on, I guess I'm glad when in Thomas gets bumped, I'm glad they took it away.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I'm not bothered.
Oh,
I
yeah.
guess Thomas won an extra rolling stock behind his coaches.
You do know that Thomas appears without a break van in a scar in Percy's Promise, right?
Yes, he has 2 red coaches behind him because Percy's pulling Annie and Clarabelle at the end of Percy's Promise with the break band.
Oh yeah. And yeah, so Thomas gets bumped will be included. What about Thomas, Percy, and the Dragon?
No, I think for some reason on the American release Best of Thomas, they put that on there. But even though Percy's more focused in that episode than Thomas is,
Yeah.
and
I
the
guess
other
so.
7 focused on Thomas.
Okay.
Yeah, when we get to
Thomas,
season
Percy,
4
and
episodes,
Mail Train, I don't think we should include.
but when we get to season 4 episodes, this is gonna be tricky because I think we have to focus on where it focuses on the standard gauge engines of Thomas. Because starting with Thomas and Stephanie, that's when they go back to focusing on the standard gauge engines in season 4. But in the first 15, they focus on the narrow gauge episodes, but the standard gauge engines make appearances in the background.
Yeah.
But
and there's another season 3 episode actually.
Mhm.
Trust Thomas. Have you forgotten about that one?
Yes.
Yeah. Trust Thomas we can include.
Yeah, because I know that's on the UK release of the Best of Thomas.
Yeah.
But I know, like in the Michael Angeles version of Trust Thomas, like I know when Thomas says "bust my buffers," muttered Thomas. The day started so well too. It has "bust my buffers," muttered Thomas. The day started so well too. But I like the
What
George
about
Carlin.
the UK early narration?
I think it's okay, but I definitely prefer George Carlin's where he goes, "Bust my buffers," muttered Thomas. The day started so well too.
Yeah. And speaking of Thomas, have you noticed that in season 3, Thomas has a smile like in the later season 3 episodes? It looks a little similar to the one from season 6 to 8.
Oh, it does?
Yeah,
Like,
can I show it to you?
It's like how the eyebrows are positioned because when Thomas does that expression in 6 through 8, the eyebrows are positioned in the neutral position. But
Yeah,
I like.
let me show you if you don't know what I'm talking about.
Well, I mean, I've seen Trust Thomas like so many times as a kid. Like I watched it under the VHS, and now I have it on DVD.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I watched Thomas Gets Bumped on Sprout before. Yeah. But yeah. So let me try to get it on.
Yeah, I'll just think of other episodes.
Alright, I think it's okay to show the image.
Okay, well, at least this one doesn't include any music stuff, but we can just show the image.
Yeah. So the only way I'm gonna have to memorize it was if So the only way I would memorize it is if like I like mute the microphone and then play it, so then that way I don't get copyrighted and all. So if you don't know what I'm talking about, you know when I was talking about the Thomas smile from season 3 he makes?
Yeah.
This is the one I'm talking about. Oh shoot.
The image you're using is from Oliver Owns Up because.
Yeah, let me see if that works. Does that work?
I think I can see it kind of, yeah. Yep,
Is
that's
that
good.
better? Yeah, see,
Yeah,
his
that's
smile
powerful.
is similar to season 6 to 8.
But did you know like how when he does make that different face, his smile is different, and the eyebrows are positioned differently.
Mm-hmm. That's the one thing I was talking about.
But did you know that there's actually one episode in season 5 where Thomas did make that smile from season 3, but just
You
but
mean
just
like which one? Like
Sir
Thomas
Tom
gets
Hanks off.
comfort?
No, I'm talking about one season 5 episode where the only time Thomas makes that normal happy face without the changing the position of the eyebrows from season 3.
I
Like
think
in the
so.
last scene when Annie and Clarabelle talk to Thomas, like these like Alec Baldwin's Annie and Clarabelle impressions are very awesome. By the way, mind if I say this since this is also Thomas related? Can I say that Alec Baldwin's Annie and Clarabelle impressions are awesome in season 5?
Yeah.
I don't
And
think there was
speaking
ever
of
time
Alec,
he did it. I don't think there was ever time he did it for season 6 for Annie and Clarabelle, but
yeah.
for season 5 he did it very well. He goes, "It's very nice to get there, but no matter what we look like, we'll always be useful, won't we, Thomas?"
Of
And then Thomas,
course.
"Of course," their friends said to them.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
in the very last scene. Thomas makes that smile from season 3. That's the only time in
Oh
season 5.
yeah. Yeah, that's the one. I get it now. Okay. Yeah.
Yes. Now
Yeah.
let's get back to including episodes. Yeah.
And he
And what
also
were you saying
makes
about
that.
and also
Oh
what were you
yeah,
saying about like
huh?
the the first take of like I think I found the first take of Michael Angelis' narration of Trust Thomas. Find it okay.
Yeah, but to be honest, sometimes I like his early narration just because I think his narration is a bit energetic at times. Like, for example, A Scar for Percy when he's like, Mine! Percy, look at this.
Mine. He said, Percy, look at this.
You play as Percy, okay, and I'll do Sir Topham Hatt.
Yes, sir. I am, sir.
My best trousers, too!
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
We
Please,
must pay
sir.
these passengers for this. We must pay these passengers for their spoiled clothes, and my trousers are ruined. I hope this will teach you not to play with play a trick with the coaches again.
But in George Carlin, when he goes, "We must pay the passengers for their spoiled clothes, and my trousers are ruined. I hope this will teach you not to play tricks with the coaches."
Yeah.
But yeah, let's get back to the episodes with where Thomas is the lead role. I think Thomas, and I don't think any of the others, he's a main character. And I don't think Thomas Percy's Mountain Adventure would count either because it focuses sometimes on Percy and sometimes on Thomas.
Yeah, so Thomas gets bumped and trust Thomas overall. I would include Thomas Percy in the Dragon, except Percy's also the main role. And Thomas Percy in the Mail Train, I think Percy's also the main role too.
Well, it switches off between him and Thomas, and
yeah. So yeah, trust Thomas and Thomas gets bumped. I guess the only 2 episodes. So
yeah,
that was
yeah.
season 3, and then moving on to season 4, Thomas and Stephanie we can include.
Yeah, because like this one, he goes, I can even just do some. Yeah, like I know in one scene of Thomas and Stephanie, like when. Yeah, I think there was a time I couldn't remember which one I could tell Angelus from Carlin, in my opinion, because I know like when like this line when the narrator says he was hardly out of sight when the engines heard shouting at the station. Yeah, like I said, I'm not good at George Carlin season 4 impressions. I'm somewhat good at them, but I'm just can't do them on a chat stream. It's just I'm just never good at them on chat stream, but I can do them in real life without recording.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure I'm pretty sure in the UK and US dub, they actually say Thomas the Tank Engine, not just at the beginning, but also in the middle.
Yeah, like at one instance where the narrator says, "Well, bust my boiler," said Thomas the Tank Engine, and then he goes, "Next day he was still fuming."
And then in the UK, he's like, Angelus is like, "Well, bust my buffers," said Thomas the Tank Engine. Next morning, Thomas was still fuming.
Shut And on my own branch, too. It's a disgrace.
Yeah,
I'm sorry, said Stephanie. I was a special. Why?
asked Thomas.
Well, I'm just doing the Carlin one without him saying those, because George Carlin doesn't say Ask Thomas in the US version of Thomas and Stephanie, but for some reason Angelus does.
Wait, he does?
Yeah, Carlin doesn't say Ask Thomas. Only Angelus does.
Oh yeah. Sometimes yeah, I noticed that. So anyways, Thomas
But
and Stephanie it is. You continue on your impression.
yeah, like an important passenger arrived just as you left. He ordered the special train, and Duck let me take it. We had a long run, but, finished Thomas, it can make the engine nervous not to know the line. Exactly, said Stephanie. You're such an expert. Thomas felt much better. He couldn't be cross anymore. Yeah. But
And in
Thomas
the
said, well,
And the UK version, Michelangelo says, like, after when Thomas feels much better, he's like, this made Thomas feel much better. He couldn't be cross anymore, and began to tell Stephanie all about his branch line.
yeah, that's one thing George Carlin couldn't say in the US version. This made Thomas feel much better. He couldn't be cross anymore.
Well,
That's cool.
don't you mean Carlin said Thomas feel much better?
Yeah, George Carlin just says Thomas felt much better. He couldn't be cross anymore.
Yeah, yeah. And Michelangelo's narration this season is kind of peaceful.
Hmm.
Yeah, like, he seems to have less energy in this one compared to season 3. Well, like, he's like a storyteller here.
Yeah,
Yeah, I noticed that. But I still enjoy Angelus's narration.
but yeah, can I also tell? Yes, some people say they didn't like how the Reverend W. Audrey hated season 3.
Yeah. I mean, come on, it wasn't that bad. And then we
Like
could pick
one
Thomas
because the one episode he didn't like in season 3, the Reverend W. Audrey
was
was
Henry's Forest, right?
yes, because he said of breaking Rule 55.
Oh,
I mean,
come on.
I can't even do the Reverend W. Audrey's impressions. I would be so bad at his impressions, even though I don't want to sound like an elderly man.
It's fine though. But yeah, I don't see what's wrong with Henry's Forest. I'm sure a lot of people enjoyed it.
Because it's so Henry doesn't have to worry about being like a grumpy engine. Sometimes, like Gordon, he can be a nice and caring engine. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
trying to say he can be kind and caring, and being attached to his favorite forest,
Yeah.
and new things can happen all over again. It makes the forest look as it was before.
Oh yeah. And Thompson the Special Letter or something?
I think Thomas the Special Letter would be a good choice because Thomas is focused most in the episode, and the engines are in their other background roles.
Yeah. And to be honest, for some reason, this may sound a little unpopular, but for some reason, I used to think George Carlin sounded similar to Michael Brandon.
Like his voice in season 4 kind of like sounds like Michael Brandon.
Yeah, his voice in season 4. Well, I think all the seasons in general, probably.
Well, I know in this one scene, like how like when Gordon, James, and Henry are whistling impatiently because they're ready to lead off, but Thomas has not yet arrived, and Sir Thomas says, "I'll wait one more minute for Thomas, then we have to go."
Yeah. And
Like,
I forgot to mention one more thing about Wrong Road as well.
yeah,
When the scene like after Gordon was the scene where after Gordon returns to the station because it was because of a misunderstanding.
yeah, because he mistaken the lady's large
Yeah.
green hat for the guard's green flag.
Yeah, did you see Sir Topham Hatt in that scene when Gordon returns to the station?
Yeah, because in the one where he starts to leave, because Gordon mistaken the lady's large green hat for a signal flag, a green signal flag. Sir Thomas not in that scene, but when Gordon comes back, because he's all embarrassed because he made a mistake.
Yeah,
Sir Tom
I thought he was. I thought for some reason I thought after that one I thought he was gonna. I thought Garland was gonna say, Sir Topham Hatt spoke severely to Gordon and his driver. I thought he was going to say that, but apparently not.
No, not even the Ringo UK version of Wrong Road. Even though I haven't seen those versions of the UK version of Ringo Starr of Wrong Road.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, I know Wrong Road was one of the season 2 episodes to not have Ringo Starr's American narration.
It's one of the yeah, it's one of them. Well, because I know Ringo started not even all of season 2, but he almost did all of season 1 in the U.S.
Yeah. But anyways, back to the topic here. So, how's Thomas Meets the Queen?
Perfect, good way to end off the season 4 episodes. Well, not just when we did the season sets, because I said we should have let Thomas Meets the Queen be the finale of season 4, but since this topic we're doing bestos, we should let Thomas Meets the Queen be the good way to end off the season 4 episodic release of a fan made Best of Thomas, adding episodes from different season eras.
Yeah, so how many episodes does that make? So, how many episodes have we done? So, one, two, three, four, and
Let me see. Let me see if I can count these. Also,
five,
check
Thomas and the Conductor. Six,
five Thomas.
Thomas was fishing.
Mm-hmm.
Seven, Thomas Terrence in the Snow, or Terrence the Tractor.
Thomas and Berry's
And,
great.
huh?
Thomas and Berry's great race, and then
Eight, right?
yeah, 8. Yes,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, yeah,
Then
yeah.
9
Okay.
is I think 9 is Thomas makes
Down
the
the
rules of
line.
down the line. 9
Yeah,
is
nine
down the
is
line.
down the line.
9
And
is down the
Double
line.
Trouble is 10.
Double Trouble 10. A new friend for
And
Thomas.
11.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. New friend for Thomas.
The Runaway, 12.
Better late than never.
13.
Thomas comes to breakfast.
14. Thomas
Uh,
gets bumped.
Thomas gets
14.
bumped. Thomas gets bumped 15.
Oh, yeah, 15. Trust
16.
Thomas, 16.
Thomas and Stepney 17.
18. 19. Okay, so 19. So we did
So, yeah,
19 episodes.
so we did 19. Thomas meets the Queen, if I'm right.
Anyways, so moving on to season 5. So if you don't know how the front cover would be like, for the Best of Thomas, it would be in a blue background with the CGI version of Thomas.
Yeah, like I said on the UK release of Best of Thomas, that goes only from seasons 1 through 15. On that version, to commemorate the 65th anniversary of the franchise back in 2010, they used the CGI nitrogen promo of Thomas, but they still include episodes from model series and some of the CGI.
Yeah. And how's Thomas and the Rumors?
That's the only season 5 episode where Thomas is the lead character.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because I think Thomas and Percy were the lead in Cranky Bugs, and Horde Laureate does other characters. A Better Before Gordon
Yeah.
is mostly Gordon.
Yeah. So yeah, I think Thomas and the Rumors, I think it's the only one. So yeah.
So we'll just go to 20 Thomas and the Rumors.
Yeah, so 20 is Thomas and the Rumors. And moving on, already we're in season 6.
Yeah, I know that's some people's least favorite of the classic series, but I think it's better than 7 in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. To be honest, I'd say season 7 is better if they didn't change the music.
But if they did find a way, we could add the original Mike and Junior music when we do find season 7 episodes that Thomas is the lead role. But we're
Like
doing season
Thomas, like for example, like Harold and the Flying Horse. Well, even though it
Well,
doesn't star as Thomas as the main character, at least it does have Mike and Junior's music with the US narration.
yeah, like that's why I talks about in the season set stream from a while ago. But yeah, let's start with season 6 episodes that
Elizabeth
Thomas.
the Vintage Lorry Truck.
Yeah, Elizabeth the Vintage Quarry Chucker, aka the Vintage Lorry in the UK. I think the Fogman mainly does Thomas, because even though there are some scenes where they show Percy and Toby coming through the Misty Valley. But
So you
yeah,
think
can I
maybe the
tell
Fogman
you
can
what
work?
Fogman could work, because even though it's funny in the US version of Alec Baldwin's The Fogman, I was like, what is wrong with Alec Baldwin's nose? Is he catching a cold or something? Like that's what even like his narration was tolerable in the first episode of season 6. Like in the Fogman, he sounded so stuffed up with his nose. I think is he catching like a sore cold or something?
I guess
Like,
it was because season 6 came out, like the first 6 came out in fall 2002.
and then like 20 of them started doing like the beginning of 2003.
Yeah, his narration sounded pretty bland and terrible.
Well, well, I gotta tell you, like, even though I don't think we're gonna include too much Christmas episodes, but I think like when we get to the next few episodes, because I know Jack jumps in and A Friend in Need, it focuses mainly on the pack, and Thomas is shown in some scenes.
Yeah, so
Let's just do It's Only Snow if that's correct.
yeah, I guess we could do It's Only Snow. And
yeah, I think like you know what freaked me out as a kid when I watched It's Only Snow is like Thomas's snowplow broke for the first time.
oh yeah, and
not
Thomas
only
wasn't going. Huh?
like Thomas, like I guess they didn't want to do his blue snowplow because kids didn't want to get scared of him breaking his blue snowplow, so they made a different snowplow. I guess the reasons the people at Shepperton Studios didn't have the money to remodel, they said to remodel his snowplow.
Oh yeah.
I mean, I don't mind the design on the different snowplow, even though I'm glad in season 7 they brought his old blue snowplow back.
Yeah, and okay, so that's number for the Fogman, and once again, the Fogman is once again what number what 21?
I think it's 21.
Oh no, it's 22. So Thomas and the Rumors is 20. The Fogman would be,
Elizabeth of Vintage Courtship would be 21.
and the Fogman would be 22. It's Only Snow can be 23.
Yes, so let's go to. I don't think
Thomas
Scared.
Bernstein This Week. I think Thomas Bernstein This Week. It stars Thomas More.
Yeah, I think it does because I know that. Yes, because I mentioned yes. You know what's funny? Like someone, if Flicka was here, I would have told him. He told me in my collection CGI stream, CGI Thomas Whole Media Collection stream, part 3 version. He did the Michael Angeles version of Alicia Body's other funny line when she says, "I can't possibly travel in coaches that are reeled in with the mice."
The fat controller was very embarrassed, and Thomas didn't feel important. Just then, Percy arrived from his guaranteed connection.
And then this one, okay, and this one has, "I can't possibly travel in coaches riddled with mice."
Oh,
so
yeah.
Thomas was embarrassed, and Thomas did not feel important at all.
Yeah.
Just then, Percy from his guaranteed connection.
Now, if you really want to watch season 6,
Look at the little green engine, so sweet and dirty, like a proper steam engine.
But he's filthy.
But I cleaned up very nicely.
Yeah. Yeah, okay.
And the final one is like, "I'm sorry I called you Dirty Percy. You go first."
Yeah, and how about, oh yeah, there was one scene in the episode where Gordon calls him Dirty Percy. I thought it was hilarious. I'm sure you do Gordon.
That one is really funny.
Oh, what's wrong?
Like, sorry.
Anyways,
yeah, I was about to say, well, one thing's for sure: he won't choose Dirty Percy.
Don't call me Dirty Percy. I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah. So Thomas Person
this week the UK dub is even more hilarious. Like, you do your impression for Gordon, and I'll do Percy.
I don't know how I can do this because, like I said, I'm not good at Michael Angelos' impressions. I could try to.
Try. I mean,
one thing's for sure, said Gordon. He won't choose Dirty Percy.
Don't call me Dirty Percy. Oh man, I thought it was hilarious.
Yeah, but yeah, about enough about Thomas Person this week, which I think we should add because it focuses more on Thomas. We can at least put my favorite season 6 episode on
24.
Yes, Thomas and the Jet Engine, or Thomas the Jet Engine in the UK.
That's just a weird title. I mean, I don't understand why they called it Thomas the Jet Engine. I mean, it's not like Thomas, huh?
I mean, they say like Thomas is the Jet Engine because he whooshes fast, but I like how us Americans like to say it's him and the Jet Engine. Because he's pulling the jet engine, even though it literally pushes him because Cranky's hook started the jet engine because it knocked the switch.
Oh, yeah. And yeah, I think Thomas and the Jet Engine should be included. So it's 20. Yes, how many does that make?
25? 25.
Okay, 25. So
we're moving on to season 7.
And then for the rest of these, and I think for the rest of season 6, they focus on the narrow gauge engines.
The last 3 do, because the last one to feature the main steering gauge engines, I think it's the one where we're going to put on a fan-made Best of Edward release, because they never made a Best of Edward in the US at all.
Or nor Best of Henry or Toby. Anyways, so let's move on. So let's see.
think yeah, Emily's new coaches, that's a no. Percy gets it right is a no. Bill Bennett
Mm,
Ferguson, no.
I'd include something fishy, but I don't know.
I mean, I like Something Fishy. Like I was gonna tell you, yes, I didn't like Something Fishy as a kid back then because it was like this one scene bothered me as a kid. Like
Oh yeah.
I'll tell you the scene in Something Fishy. Like when Thomas is sent onto the old pier, whatever you call that thing, he goes onto like this amp, whatever, this little pier thing, whatever you call it. Because I've watched Something Fishy a few times.
Okay.
Because how the scene like when the narrator says the troublesome trucks were delighted. Like Thomas's back tail lamp is normal, and then the troublesome trucks laugh. He's fallen in the water.
Oh yeah. I don't think I watched something fishy before, but
I have. And can I tell you the next scene when after Sir Tom Hat calls on the phone saying Arthur's the nearest engine, I'll send him right away. It goes back to Thomas's old back tail lamp, and that's freaked me out. I was like, what? Come on, Hit Entertainment or whoever made season 7. Well, this was still being filmed because I know David Mitton was this was the last season David Mitton ever directed. But Bert
yeah.
Allcroft wasn't even the director and producer
Yeah.
anymore. But I was like, come on, David Mitton, what were you thinking?
Yeah.
I say that because he's the director. He's still the director of season 7, David Mitton.
Yeah. And
David Mitton, what were you thinking? Can't you just leave it the same way?
are
And
we talking about Thomas's model?
yes, yes, I'm talking about like when it goes back to when Thomas is still in the tidal pool, in the water by the cliff where the trucks are. They show his back tail lamp with lines for some reason, but in the previous scene before that, it had no lines. I was like, what was Hit Entertainment and David Mitton doing?
Oh yeah. But yeah, I think maybe something fishy we should include.
Well, yes, we'll still include it, even though I didn't understand the. Look, I don't hate the episode Something Fishy. That one scene just bothers me. That's why I didn't give it a perfect 10 out of 10.
And how about not so hasty cakes?
Or yeah, aka Not So Hasty Puddings in the UK, or it's on the DVD Mud Glorious Mud. It's called Thomas and the Avalanche.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And speaking of Thomas and the Avalanche, have you noticed something? Have you noticed that there was a terrible error they made when they used stock footage? Like,
Which one of them is it?
you know the scene where after Thomas gets really cross?
Yeah, like when the narrator says, "Now Thomas was crosser still."
Yeah, and it shows stock footage from It's Only Snow, but it's edited. Man,
Because
that's so lazy,
like
man.
they got the grayish. They just edited to put like the grayish clouds in the sky, but in the original version, if it's only snow, it's still the blue, the sky blue,
Yeah.
the blue sky.
Yeah, and they made a really bad error. Like, for example, for some reason, Thomas isn't seen pull in that footage. Thomas is not seen pulling any Clarabelle. Bro, instead he's seen like pulling a Christmas tree, and Toby's behind him, and also his snowplow changed. Come on, you could have at least used a different footage from. You could have used stock footage from like Terrence the Tractor or something. Come on, you could have done better than that.
Well, I mean, yes, Terrence comes back and it is shown in this scene, but I don't think he speaks.
Yeah,
I think that's the last time we ever see Terrence in the classic series. Because I don't think there's ever a time he came back in the hit. Well, there's some cameos he made in the hit era, but without speaking.
yeah, like the
'Cause I
Great
think
Discovery being one of them. Anyways,
Yeah, because I think like his last speaking role in the classic series was James in the Trouble with Trees from season 5.
yeah. Anyways,
Even
so
though he did appear in the last episode of season 6, Faulty Whistles, Alec Baldwin mentions Terrence, but he doesn't speak. He says, then Duncan saw Terrence plowing a field.
oh yeah, Terrence did also appear in Faulty Whistles.
But without speaking,
Anyways,
because due to Alec Baldwin's narration. But yeah,
yeah,
back to the Not So Hasty Cakes episode where, yeah, I think this is the last time we see Terrence in the classic series,
yeah.
but I think like in the only time we see him in the hit series is in the Great Discovery. Well, even though there's a music video in season 10, he appears as a background cameo.
Not to mention, surprisingly, this surprised a lot of people, but in the song Navigation from season 10, you're not gonna believe who appears.
Who?
Duck.
Like when they sing the lyrics, handle every situation.
Yeah, it was
When Elizabeth,
shocking, man.
it's like a deleted scene where Elizabeth pulls this thing off the track and there's Duck.
Yeah, I
Oh yeah,
bet I bet everyone reacted to that one.
Yeah, but yeah, let's get.
Anyways,
So the only two season 7 episodes we have Thomas as the lead are Something Fishy and Not Twisty Cakes or Not Twisty Puddings in the UK.
oh,
But
there's
yeah,
one more.
oh yeah,
Hooray for
Hooray for
Thomas.
Thomas. So I think that's 28 altogether, if I'm correct. So
Yeah,
Thomas
I
the
think
Gentian is
so.
the 25th. Yes, 25th is Thomas the Gentian. So these three of season 7, we go to 28 episodes.
Yeah, so 28 episodes, and
So
now we
now we
move
move
on to
season 8 finally, the first of the hit series.
yeah. And I know I might get some hate for this, but I enjoyed season 8.
But I'm going to say, yeah, there are only a few episodes where Thomas is the lead character. We can
Yeah.
actually Thomas
Thomas
the
and the
Tuba
Tuba is one of them, even
and Thomas
though
the Rescue.
yeah. Should we include Thomas and the Tuba?
Yes, because it's
Yeah.
mainly focused on just 4 engines. This one does feature the 4 main popular characters: Thomas, Percy, James, and Gordon. James and Gordon are only shown at the shed next to Tidmouth, but they're upset. What I don't know why the narrator Michael Brandon says James and Gordon were upset, but they have their mad faces. That doesn't make any sense. It's like, hit entertainment. What were you thinking?
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure upset means that they're cross.
But they could have just said, did you know, like, I'll just say this since even though we're starting off with season 8, did you know, like, in the Michelangelo dub of Gordon and Spencer, Gordon has his crossface, but Michelangelo said he was very upset. But in the Michael Brandon dub, he says he was very cross. That makes sense.
Wait, he was cross, really?
Yes, but when they show his crossface, Michael Brandon says he was very cross, but the Michelangelo's dub, he says he was very upset.
Wait, I don't remember that.
You've watched Gordon and Spencer before, both the U.S. dub of Michelangelo's with the original music and the Michael Brandon one with the redub music in the U.S.
Oh, that's weird. I never seen that before. I mean, I don't think he said that, Michael Brandon.
I'm pretty sure he did because I also watched the version Gordon and Spencer Michael Brandon U.S. version, but with the original Mike and Jr. music, and I could hear him literally say he was very cross. I'm going to be late, he said.
Yeah. Anyways,
But yeah, Thomas the Tuba. Yes, like I said, I don't know why Michael Brandon says James and Gordon were upset, but those are their cross faces, not their upset, not their sad faces.
yeah, but I'm pretty sure you mean angry face. Yeah, I think we should include that. Thomas to the Rescue is another one, so that would make it how many?
Let's see, 30 episodes.
Yeah, 30 episodes.
So,
Thomas Saves the Day.
Yeah, it's 31.
Would you include Thomas, Emily, and the Snowplow?
No. I
Okay.
think like because it focuses on both Thomas and Emily. Because yeah, this is the first instance where it's the first time we see Emily with a different personality in season 8. The first time they tried out, and people complained about it, saying it was terrible. They didn't like Emily's going from a nice, kind engine personality in season 7 to a much rebellious, rude engine. God. They even did it up to season 12. I think maybe in seasons 13 and 16 as well.
Actually, most likely, I'm pretty sure it was season 10 when Emily started. I think it was season 11 when Emily went back to normal, at least.
But okay, there were some times she was stern. She makes that weird. Well, it's not a really mad face, but it's just her just kind of annoyed face. I mean, she's kind of mad, but she has her mouth shut, like Gordon and James.
Oh yeah.
But I said, yeah, Thomas Saves the Day, the season 8 version, that makes it up to 31 episodes. So I think we could do Don't Tell Thomas after Thomas Saves the Day, just like on the Thomas Sawyer Celebration VHS and DVD.
So you think we should include Don't Tell Thomas?
Yes, because Thomas is focused on more scenes than any other character.
Yeah.
And yes, there's another scene, another one instance where Thomas, well, even though Thomas tries to ask Emily, is that part of the surprise that covered up load on her flatbed? But then Emily makes that rude remark saying, "That," said Emily, "is for me to know and you to find out."
Bother. If they won't tell me, I'll find out myself.
Yeah.
Anyways, back to the topic. So,
yes.
Thomas and Firework Display or?
No, I don't think so, because it focuses on both Thomas and James.
Okay.
Thomas has to help James when he broke down, so we're gonna skip that.
Thomas and the Circus.
Yes, even though Percy and James help him out, that still counts. So I think we're at 30. No. 32 episodes because we skipped Thomas, Emily, and the Snowplow and did Don't Tell Thomas after that.
And
So
Thomas gets it right, definitely.
So I think we're up to 34 episodes.
Thomas gets it right, by the way. Did I say that right?
Yeah. Let's see.
Yeah.
32 is 31 is Thomas Saves the Day. 32 is Don't Tell Thomas. So yes, we're 34.
33 is what?
33 is Thomas and the Circus.
Okay, let me type that in the comments, by the way, so then I don't behind. That way I don't get confused. So Thomas and the Circus?
Yes. And then 34 is Thomas Gets It Right.
Okay, so let's do that. Let me just type this in, and
I know you gotta type in the comments.
34 was what?
We don't lose count.
Yeah, let me type this into the live chat so that way Thomas gets it right, you said 34?
Yes, because it goes after Thomas Circus.
Okay.
So I'm making sure we do the episode in chronological order, despite like on the American releases they put them in chronological order.
How's Fish, by the way?
The season 4 version? No, the season 8 version? Yes.
Okay,
because
let's do that.
The season 4 version focuses on Henry, but Thomas. Well, Thomas is in the season 4 version of Fish, but he only appears for a few scenes. But it focuses more on Henry and Duck.
Yeah.
So it makes sense to put that version of Fish on both fan-made Best of Henry and Duck.
Yeah.
So we'll use it for either one of those two. But for Thomas, we're focusing on more of them.
And speaking of Emily's bossy personality, the first time I found this out was Emily's Adventure, taken from It's Great to Be an Engine. Like Emily, Thomas was like responding to Thomas. She was like, "That's because you're being a bossy boiler."
A big bossy boiler, laughed Thomas. You should try asking nicely for a change. And then Thomas says, "But it will be nighttime soon, and the baby calves still didn't have a roof over their heads."
All right, and any episodes I missed? So how's Chickens to School?
That would be a good one because like Thomas tries to remember. He keeps saying these lines just to help him remember, but then he gets tired and confused and he starts to mess it up.
Okay.
So I think Halloween we're gonna skip. Well, you got to include the season 8 version of Fish. So that's 35.
Yeah, so 37 would be Too Hot for Thomas. How's that?
Yes.
And okay, yeah, I think Too Hot for Thomas would work perfectly. And believe it or not, Too Hot for Thomas was the very first time I got to see Michael Brandon's narration. You know?
Yeah, and I don't know if I can do my favorite impressions from Too Hot for Thomas with Angelus or Brandon.
I think you should do Brandon. Like Thomas is like, everyone gets to take the children except me, moaned Thomas.
And then also like the part where he goes, "Hurry up," cried Thomas. "If I'm quick, I might still get to take some children." But of course, and then also that's the see at the end of the episode where he says, "Why are the children cheering?" huffed Thomas.
"They're cheering for you. They've been waiting for the ice cream."
And then the final line where it says, "Delivering ice cream is a fun job after all," said Thomas.
And I did notice that, the scene in the episode, that there was one scene when Thomas is like, "Thank you," and he just like races away from Farmer McColl's farm. Like I noticed that he has this unused mask.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think it might have been used from season 3. I feel
like that happy face with Thomas out showing his teeth.
Huh?
Like the one where Thomas says thank you to Farmer McCall, but he doesn't have his painted teeth, but he's just has his neutral happy face.
Yeah, that's the one. And this was also used in the previous episode, Chickens to School.
Oh, wow.
I feel like it's from season 3 or something, but anyways.
Yeah, I think we move on to season 9 episodes where we'll see what
I think that was season 8.
Yes. So Too Hot for Thomas is the last we'll do of season 8. So for season 9, we're going to start with Thomas and the Rainbow.
Yeah, let's do that. Thomas and the Rainbow.
Episode 38.
Let me type that in the live chat. There we go.
So 38 is Thomas and the Rainbow, and then
Thomas's milkshake model.
Yeah, I think we skipped Molly's special because like I said, I think we should have put the episodes in this order on season 9. Put Molly's special before Thomas's milkshake model, even though they don't mention Molly in that episode. So
I think Thomas's milkshake model should come after Molly's special.
Because I don't know why the people at Hit Entertainment put them in this order. But yeah, let's look at
Thomas and the birthday picnic.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, so the episode 40.
All right, so let me
But
do
even like
that.
with episodes with Thomas is focused on the narrow with the narrow gauge engines, that doesn't really count.
Yeah, yeah.
And
I
it's
don't
like
think we should do that.
and his 3/3 inch gauge, because I know his standard gauge 1 model is different from his one with the narrow gauge engines in season 9. Different.
Yeah,
So like episode 40 would be Thomas the Birthday Picnic, and then
and
I believe it
41
was
would be
Thomas the Toy Workshop, or aka Thomas the Toy Shop in the UK.
and the toy workshop.
Or yeah, and aka Thomas the Toy Shop in the UK.
Yeah, yeah. Okay,
Yeah,
let's do
and
that. So
yeah. So episode 41 is going to be Thomas the Toy Workshop.
Thompson the statue.
No. I think we got to do Thomas the New Engine still, or is
Oh,
that
okay,
not? Or no. Let's not do Thomas and the New Engine because
let's do Thompson the statue.
okay. Well, Thomas tries his best. We got to do that one too.
Yeah.
So after Thomas the Birthday Picnic, we do Thomas tries his best and Thomas the Statue. But,
Oh,
yeah,
Thomas does his best.
yes, on the DVD Tales from the Tracks in the US. But
Yeah,
and also
the
kind of
very
the
last
impression from
episode to ever air on VHS. And 43 will be what? Thompson the statue.
Yes. Well, it makes sense because it's the 15th episode of season 9. It makes sense for it to be the 43rd episode.
Yeah. So.
But yeah, my 50th impressions for Thomas the Toy Workshop, like I did in someone's birthday stream before.
Uh huh.
Can I tell you, like Thomas's, well, Annie Clarabelle's Michael Brandon's doing our best times 2. Michael Brandon is phenomenal. Like this one where he says, got to hurry. And he says, doing our best, chanted Annie and Clarabelle.
Yeah. Okay. So. 44 would be Thomas's day off.
Yes, even though it focuses Thomas helped Dennis, we're still gonna include it.
And what else?
And then 45 would be Thomas's new trucks.
Yeah. Why couldn't it be called Thomas's new freight cars instead?
I don't know, because I know at the beginning Michael Brandon says the engines and their freight cars were working extra hard. Even though Gordon's pulling the express with 4 coaches at the beginning of Thomas's new trucks, even though the narrator says the engines and their freight cars were working very hard.
What else? Thomas.
I can tell you no, Bold and Brave we got to do after that.
Oh yeah, Bold and Brave. I forgot.
And also like in Thomas's new trucks that has the best crash ever.
Oh yeah.
I
don't
think
see why some people thought why that episode was terrible. I mean, I enjoyed it.
the crash was so awesome.
Yeah. Anyways, Bold and Brave, and then Thomas and the Golden Eagle.
Yeah, I think and then
Yeah.
and then so yeah, 45 is new Thomas's new trucks, and then it's Bold and Brave, and 47 is Thomas the Golden
48
Eagle.
would be.
Will we do Flower Power? I think we can.
Yeah, I think we should do that. So that was season
I tell you
9.
when Diesel does the scaring boo to Thomas is hilarious.
Yeah.
It goes, ooh, ah!
Yeah.
Trust a silly old Steamy to be scared on Halloween.
Yeah. Anyways, so that was season 9, and then we move on to season 10.
And I think we can do Follow That Flower as well.
Yeah, I guess.
Even though a lot of people say it's some people's least favorites, even though, yes, the first season 10 episode written by Sharon Miller, and, well, even though Thomas the Birthday Picnic is the first model series Thomas episode to be written by Sharon Miller, even though she's just a script editor.
Yeah. Back in late 2005.
So, yeah, I think, let's say 47.
50 should be Thomas and the Jet Plane?
Yes. So, I think we're up to 50 episodes as well.
Yeah, we are.
The 50s Thomas
I'm
the Jet.
typing all this in the live chat, just so you know.
Okay, 50 is Thomas the Jet. Okay, you're just doing the numbers so we don't lose track, right?
Yeah, so 51 should be...
51, I think we could do Thomas's Tricky Tree.
Yeah, Thomas's Tricky Tree, I believe, is probably my least favorite.
Why do you not like Thomas's Tricky Tree? I like how Sir Handel was... That's another time Sir Handel finally is still being wise, but he's still surprised when Thomas is still angry at him, saying he doesn't want his help.
Yeah. I mean,
Like,
Thomas isn't... I think Thomas was an idiot in that one.
Like he doesn't even ask. He doesn't like the narrow gauge engines bossing him around, even though he sometimes can ask for help sometimes. Because
Yeah.
like sometimes
Anyway, so
some
51.
people need some help sometimes.
Yeah.
But I know like when he says Thomas, said Sir Handel, the Christmas tree is tall, green, and pointy. Thank you, Sir Handel. I don't need your help. And like also like when you know how like when Michael Angelo screams out "cinders and ashes," cried Thomas. That's almost like I could hear it from his the version that dialogue from A Friend in Needs. "Cinders and ashes," cried Thomas.
Oh yeah. And speaking of which, Tom, speaking of Jack in the Pack, have you noticed that Jack in the Pack was produced at the same time as season 7, 2003?
Wow, I didn't notice that.
Yeah, and in the UK version, Michael Angelos' narration for season 7 was probably terrible.
It was.
Yeah, you should probably watch it, but if you're gonna watch it during the stream, you're gonna have to mute your microphone.
Well, true. Yes, I just want to just see a glimpse of the episode without having to play all the way through because we're still at season 10.
But yeah,
we did
season 7. But yeah, the season 7 UK narration was probably awful or something.
Well, I mean, with the original music, it's okay.
Yeah,
but,
the original
music. It would be worse.
I
think it's worse if you do the UK versions with the Robert Hartshorn music with Michael Angelos' narration. But with the original music, it's okay.
Yeah. But to be honest, I don't mind the Robert Hartshorn music. Well, it's not as good as the Mike and Jr. one, but yeah. Anyways, that was Thomas's Tricky Tree. What would number 52 be? Seeing the Sights?
Yes, Seeing the Sights, because I think Thomas and Gordon are the only ones focused. But there's some stock footage used at the beginning, but that's at the end of Respect for Gordon, but it's used at the beginning of Seeing the Sights.
Oh yeah, I noticed that. And not to mention that in Thomas and the Jet Plane, they actually used stock footage from Thomas Saves the Day and, of course, the seasons 8 to 10 intro.
Yeah, like I was like, huh? We already saw the intro. It's like
yeah,
like the close-up of Thomas blowing his whistle is from the Thomas Saves the Day season 8 version. Thomas the Jet Plane.
Yeah, so 53 would be what?
Wait, you said 52 is Seeing the Sights, right?
Yeah, 53 would be Sticky Taffy Thomas.
Yes, we could actually keep these episodes in the same order because we're only focusing on episodes with Thomas. So yes, we'll do Sticky Taffy Thomas. Even like I told you, yes, we did the episodes. We would just flip flop Edward Strikes Out and Big Strong Henry, but leave Sticky Taffy Thomas in the original spot. So we'll put Sticky Taffy Thomas next, or okay, Sticky Toffee Thomas in the UK. I can actually do the impression like when Sir Tom Hat comes up and says, "Toby, you must go to the yard to be repaired," said the Thought Controller. "If I don't take the sticky toffee to the party, the children won't be able to make toffee apples," moaned Toby. "Please, sir, I could take the sticky toffee to the party." "Very well, but no more trying to be in fancy dress." And Michael Brandon, he goes, "Toby, you must go to the yard to be repaired," said Sir Topham Hatt. "If I don't take the sticky taffy to the party, the children won't be able to make taffy apples." "Please, sir, I could take the sticky taffy to the party." "Very well, but no more trying to be in costume."
Oh yeah. And how's Thomas and the Shooting Star for 54?
Oh, very nice. Despite it gets nighttime towards the rest of the episode, which I like.
Yeah.
Even though some people say it's just boring, I find it beautiful in my opinion. The atmosphere is amazing, and there's no lights on the island, and Thomas is trying to find the power station.
Yeah. And that scene, the theme that they use when Thomas is lost and all that stuff, like after the scene when all the engines are worried about Thomas and all that stuff. I bet that music would be used for like whenever you're lost or something. I bet I could use that.
Yeah. So yeah, Thomas the Shooting Star, yes, we're going to include that. And we're also going to include Topped Off Thomas, even though you don't like that as well as Thomas's Tricky Tree.
Yeah. It's another episode written by Sharon Miller, anyways. But once again...
this one funny Thomas expression when Spencer says, "Nonsense," and then when the narrator says, "This made Thomas even more cross." Like, that face was so freaky to me as a kid. When I watched it on PBS Kids, when Thomas made this face, he almost like Henry's grossed out face. But just Thomas. Like, what?
Okay.
It's a different... version of Henry's grossed out face. I was like, what?
Sorry, never meant to do that kind of face. I tried to oppress it.
Like when makes that grossed out face, kind of like
Oh,
Henry, but it's
oh yeah, I
always
found it. Okay, so you're talking about this one?
yes.
Yeah, I
That,
noticed that.
I was like, what on earth is that face doing
I
here?
think it's his unused season 3 face. But anyways, 55 would be Top Off Thomas, and
Yes, because I know by
another episode I also hate is Thomas's frosty friend.
so that's 50. Well, you'll see the episode titles, and I'll just say the episodes we got to star Thomas in.
Yeah.
So you said 50.
So 56 would be Thomas's frosty friend.
Yes, and like every
And
time, like I can't even. I think Michael Angelis's Thomas saying, "Mr. Snowman, I told you to go back to the children. Why are you still following me?" Recycled every time. Michael Brand does it much better. Like one example is like when he's on Farmer McCall's halt. He says, "Mr. Snowman, I told you to go back to the children. Why are you still following me?" And also like when
Yeah.
Thomas does it the third time, and like he can't even hear what Emily's saying. I thought they were going to use his angry face, like saying, "Mr. Snowman, I told you to go back to the children," cried Thomas. "Why are you still following me?" But they use like his disappointed face. Like, wait, what's the face he makes like when Thomas is
hold on.
upset at Jeremy because he doesn't want to talk to him again?
Hold on, I'll be right back.
Okay.
Eat dinner, anyways.
Mm,
Sorry, man. I think I'm gonna have to end it here.
Are you sure?
Yeah, but we'll continue maybe another time.
Okay. I think this
See
is
ya.
just gonna be a part one. Maybe. Okay. I'll go and leave.
See ya. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you all next time. Bye.